Hello, Capricorn. Welcome. Take a seat and relax. There is nothing you need to do in this present moment except to relax and enjoy your reading. And to start your reading, we have card number 1. Hug it out, bitch. Hug it out, bitch. Whatever problem you are facing right now, whatever situation you are facing right now, just hug it out, bitch. And this is especially true if you are talking about yourself. Please stop beating yourself up, Capricorn. Everyone makes mistakes. We are all human. The important thing is that we learn from our mistakes. That is why we make mistakes. So we can better understand life. So we can better understand ourselves. And so we can just better understand everything in general. That is why we make mistakes. That is why God allows mistakes. And right now, I want you to hug it out. Especially if it's talking about yourself. It's okay. Whatever happened, it's okay. Just hug it out. Life moves on. And so can you. Make things right with yourself. Make things right with other people. Do whatever is going to make you feel at ease. So hug it out. Especially if it is talking about yourself. The Fool, yes. And the King of Swords. See, the Fool makes mistakes. The Fool doesn't beat herself up because of these mistakes. Because the Fool is the beginning. The Fool is a kid. Right? Imagine those babies, those toddlers that are learning how to walk. Right? They fall down over and over and over and over again. But do they beat themselves up? No. They hug it out and they go for it again. They try again. And eventually they learn how to walk. Because walking is extremely hard and walking is needed for everything. Right? Imagine a video game. Right? Imagine your first thing that you have to do, your first goal, is to be able to walk. And it takes you so many tries just to learn how to walk. And every goal after that, the first step is to walk. But look at how easy it is now to walk, right? You don't even think about it. And you made mistakes over and over and over again. So let's learn from toddlers. Let's learn from babies on not beating ourselves up every time we make a mistake. This is something I need to work on as well, because I am a perfectionist and everything I do has to be perfect. So it's hard to do new things, right? Especially adults are not good at doing new things because they can't allow themselves to make mistakes. But it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be new at something. It's okay to start a new journey. Just don't beat yourself up for it. King of Swords. The swords are of the mind, right? So the swords in this situation, right? If you're not hugging it out within yourself, well, you probably are going to feel that anxious, right? Your sword is going to be beating yourself up, right? If this king mishandles this sword, it's going to be very easily to hurt himself, to cut himself. But the King of Swords learns how to deal with the sword. He learns how to be in control of that sword. It's not about control. It's just about how you're using that sword, how you're using that mind. You can use that mind to hurt yourself, or you can use that mind to figure the situation out and to be at ease. So you are able to tackle new situations while still being at ease. To be able to tackle new situations with wonder and joy instead of with so many wounds and injuries. Right? There's butterfly here. Right? There's a transformation that goes with the mind whenever you are able to deal with that anxiety, with those thoughts that keep hurting you. And I have felt that difference, so I'm telling you it is possible. It is just like using a knife, right? A knife can be used to hurt someone, but a knife can also be used to chop up your food so that you make smaller pieces and don't choke. It's the same knife used in two very different situations. So let's learn how to work with our mind. Let's learn how to work with our thoughts so that we are able to tackle life with joy and wonder instead of with all of this trauma that, starts to feel very, very heavy. Cool. Loving this energy. The rebel. His chains are breaking. The chains aren't holding him down anymore. That mind isn't holding him down anymore. And turning in. This is the way to be able to embody these King of Swords. Except this turning in is dealing with water, so it's dealing with your emotions. So to be able to use this mind efficiently, let's start by focusing on our emotions, by turning in. How do you feel right now? Just hug it out, bitch. How do you feel right now? The Rebel, number 4. I want to read it from this OSHO Zen Tarot booklet, and I love the descriptions for these cards, and I love this whole deck. 10 out of 10 would recommend. The Rebel. Let's see what the Rebel is about. He's a major arcana card, so this is something that's bigger than our human thoughts. The powerful and authoritative figure in this card, power and authority, also reminds me of this King of Swords. The powerful and authoritative figure in this card is clearly the master of his own destiny. On his shoulder is an emblem of the sun, and the torch he holds in his right hand symbolizes the light of his own hard-won truth. Whether he is wealthy or poor, the rebel is really an emperor because he has broken the chains of society's repressive conditioning and opinions. He has formed himself by embracing all of the colors of the rainbow, emerging from the dark and formless roots of his unconscious past and growing wings to fly into the sky. His very way of being is rebellious, not because he is fighting against anybody or anything, but because he has discovered his own true nature and is determined to live in accordance with it. Turning in. The eagle is his spirit animal, a messenger between earth and sky. The rebel challenges us to be courageous enough to take responsibility for who we are and to live our truth. What do you think about that? I think yes. Hug it out. Let's embody this rebel because he seems like a really dope guy. And we can only learn from the rebel by turning in and see what it is that we really want in life. And then we go for it. We embody the Fool and we go for it. 7 of Swords. See, this is the swords again, right? We're back to the mind. We're back to our thoughts. And sometimes the thoughts that we are creating in our mind are that everybody is against us, that life is out to get us. And that is not the King of Swords type of energy. That is not using that sword, that mind, in the best way, efficiently. Where the rebel thinks that way. He's leading his own way. He knows that his own hard-won truth is what matters most, instead of the opinions of others and what they have to say. We are turning in here, seeing how we feel about this situation, And let that dictate what we think about the situation. Ace of Wands, and we have the Wands. The Wands potential here is the potential of this new adventure. This potential of what can happen when you hug it out within yourself. Start listening to your own hard-won truth. The Wands are movement. The Wands are of the soul. The soul is eternal, and fire doesn't stop moving. The fire doesn't die, right? If I have a candle here, that fire is going to keep on moving. And that's what it means for our soul to be eternal. It just keeps on moving. Alright, when we go to sleep, we don't move anymore. But sometimes we still dream, so our soul is still moving. So that's what the fire is, right? The fire is the reason for movement, the reason to leave your home, the reason to leave the situation that doesn't serve you any longer. And this rebel has that fire in his hands. This is that hard-won truth that is there at the end of all of this that's going on. And this hard-won truth is the only thing that's going to matter in this new adventure that can begin. This new transformation. Let's embody this rebel. And let's start tackling life so we can get what we really deserve. And we all deserve love. We all deserve a loving home, a safe place to be in. And you have the opportunity right now to create that for yourself. 21. Yes. This is my grass is greener card. This is when Michael ended up being salesman again. But the good thing about him becoming salesman again was that it helped him realize that being a manager is really what he's always wanted. He didn't care about the money, right? Because he would have made more money as a salesman. He only cared about what he actually really loved and what his actual passion is. The reason he would leave his home is because he enjoyed being manager. And it's okay. See, he needed to hug himself out, right? He could beat himself up for leaving his manager job and for becoming a salesman. But he ends up hugging him out within himself, right? And him and Jim eventually switch again. And Jim becomes the salesman and Michael becomes the manager. And how happy Michael was when he became manager again. Right, so this mistake that happened, just hug it out within yourself. It's a good thing that you went through this because it makes you realize what it is that you truly want in life. 28. Turning in, huh? Okay, I'm gonna show you this while I read it because I think this will help. I think this is a good way to summarize this advice. So Gabe in this scene tells Andy, "I can't be alone anymore, Andy. Do you like being alone with me right now?" And Andy replies, "No, this is horrifying." And Gabe says, "I don't like being alone with me either. So before you do anything else, learn how to be alone and not lonely. If you are feeling lonely, face the loneliness. Do not run away from it. It's actually impossible to run away from it because you will always be with yourself. Remember, you are one. Be the one that you need. I promise you that if you face the loneliness, you might just find out that you're actually pretty cool to hang out with, right? Just hug it out, bitch, especially when it deals with yourself." And my light just turned off, so that's pretty cool. See, the darkness is easier to find the light. In the darkness, it's easier to find what it is that you actually want in life. Michael was in that darkness when he became the salesman, but it became very clear that that light that he's always wanted was to be manager. So let's thank this darkness that we put ourselves in because it helped us realize where the light is. I really hope this helped, Capricorn. If it did help, please help me as well with a like, a comment, and subscribe if you would like to keep hanging out, as this is a safe place where we try to figure life out together. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.